The male fish are really good eating, too.
And the females aren't?
Well, they're good eating. They're good eating, too.
A little salt, a little butter.
Yeah, salt, butter, lemon, wrap
they're
them
all
in
good
tin
meat.
foil, throw them in the oven.
There you go.
Life is good.
Yes, it is. Welcome to Bob Duchense's Wild Maine. Somebody told me there's a football game this weekend, so today we're going to look back at last weekend and ahead to next weekend. The 42nd Pine Tree Camp Ride-In is next weekend. It raises money for the Pine Tree Camp for children and adults with disabilities in Rome, Maine. A preview of that and the inside story and the Egg Ride that always goes with it will be the second half of today's show. But the first half belongs to the kids. Last Saturday and next Sunday are family ice fishing days at the Maine Youth Fish and Game Association on Pickerel Pond in Milford. Weather was outstanding and the fishing was great last weekend. Over 250 kids showed up to fish, and they were hauling in brook trout left and right. If what you're about to hear sounds like something a kid in your family would like to do, they will fish again next Sunday, February 8th. Spoiler alert, I am not hosting the first half of today's show. Bob Duchense's Wild Maine is brought to you by Hammond Lumber, Dice Arts, EBS, and Napa Auto Parts. Twice each winter, the Maine Youth Fish and Game Association throws a family ice fishing day at Pickerel Pond. That's out the Stud Mill Road in Milford, about 3 miles from where County Road intersects with the Stud Mill Road. There are prizes for the biggest fish. You can borrow traps and bait. There's plenty of food and a warm building when necessary. Kids love it. They'll do it again next Sunday, February 8th. Now, I went last Saturday, and since the event is for kids, we'll let the kids take over this show. Andrew Koch is 10 years old, and he is going to take us ice fishing.
Hello, folks. This is Andrew C. Koch, and I'm about to start my first interview ever with someone else.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Hello, sir.
So how thick is the ice?
Oh, there's about 6 inches.
Good. Any luck yet?
The young fella caught one small trout, and we have 2 or 3 other flags.
It's pretty good.
Things are happening.
Were those flags just wind flags, or were they fish flags?
No, they were fish. They actually took the bait. So
The bait ran away. Happened to me.
We got another one. Let's run over there and see what they got.
Yeah. Let's go.
Sooner or later, I'm going to fall flat on my butt on this ice.
Hello, my name is Andrew Koch. This is Bob Duchesne.
hello.
Hi.
We're here to interview.
Okay.
Yeah, so who caught what?
I think this is Ian.
Hi,
Hello.
Ian.
Hello, Ian.
Now, did you catch something yet?
Oh, yeah, looks like
On.
something's
I think we
spinning.
got something.
Might want to pick it up now. But when you're picking it up, don't jerk it. Just pull it out slowly.
Okay, something you should know about Andy. He's only 10 years old, but he's already been ice fishing for half his life. He's got lots of advice, and he isn't afraid to share it. Back to the play-by-play.
Pulling up the trap right about now, and here it comes.
Coming up slow.
Ian, you feeling it tug? Not really. No, not really.
You're on the outdoor channel.
Not really.
You gotta get into it a little bit more. Yeah, come on.
Yeah, you've got something already, Ian.
Oh, here we go, here we go.
Put it back down.
Oh.
bud.
Oh, he got away.
You gotta give him a little yank.
That little shiner ain't looking too hot now, is he?
That looked like a pretty good size.
When you find that trout, just give it a good solid tug.
But don't jerk the hook out.
But don't jerk. Give it a good tug, but don't jerk the hook out, okay? Come on, little trout. Come on and bite it. Oh, snap!
You come off?
Yep.
Bait's still there, I think. Is the bait
Nope.
still there?
Bait's gone. Yeah.
Oh.
Ian, would you like to say something about that?
Oh,
Would you like to say something about that for a quick second?
Probably get him next time, hopefully.
Way to go, Ian.
It's like my brother. He had to try about 10 times to get it. How about let's head over here?
Yeah, we'll go back over here, see if they've got anything new.
Hey, Brooke.
Hi, Andrew.
Oh, yeah.
Hi. Hello, Brooke.
Hi.
So what have you caught so far?
Nothing.
Nothing?
I just got out here.
Yeah.
So how early did you have to get up this morning to come out here?
I had to get up at 6.
Welcome to the club.
And then we had to leave at 7:30.
So you're what? You live in Milford, Old Town what?
Yeah.
Milford. Yeah.
She's in my class.
Oh, okay.
That's why I know her so well.
All right, let's see who has some luck then.
Hello, Ian. Any luck yet?
No, but I'm going to try jigging them out.
Jigging.
Jigging.
Jigging is a pretty good theory.
Have you jigged much?
Yes, I have.
What do you usually catch? I mean, do you get
I
different
haven't
results?
really caught much jigging,
No.
except my own bait fish, who's already hooked on the line. So I'm not sure that really counts as a catch. No, not really.
No, not really. No.
No. Either that or it's a worm. I don't remember.
So what do they do over at this orange trailer?
That orange trailer over there is where they measure and weigh fish.
Oh, okay.
Then they put them up on the scoreboard. They serve out hot chocolate and stuff like that.
All right. Well, let's go over there and see who's got the best fish so far.
Then maybe we can find them. Whoa.
Yeah.
Try to step on the snowy parts because there's a bit more traction there.
I'm trying.
You step on the parts where you can clearly see the ice. You're just going to fall on your butt. Like I just did. Yeah. It hurts.
Yeah.
So we are now at the orange shed. We see some traps, some bait fish, and maybe we can look out the scoreboard.
Yeah.
So there's some raffles.
Why don't you just ask these guys?
How's it going?
Pretty good. We'd like to see the scoreboards.
The scoreboard is right over here.
The leaderboards are right about here.
Right over here. 17
Brad-
inches?
Bradley Dowdy.
We go length first and then weight. So
Yeah.
We had 2 17-inch ones, then we look at the weight next.
It's Bradley Dowdy with his fish length, 17 inches. His weight, 2 1/4 pounds.
And that
That's
was a-
one heck of a fish.
Yeah, brook trout?
Yep, good brook trout.
Excellent, yeah.
I think I know where they are, too. Probably way at the end of the pond, like, too.
In that corner where
Yep.
they always are.
Yep.
These boys.
They're always there last. They were there last year.
Well,
Going.
Pretty good.
Oh, wait, never mind. There's another fish coming in to be registered.
Yeah, let's go check.
Yeah, let's check this fish out. Right over here. Look at him.
2.
Nope, 2 fish. Whoa, that is one heck of a fish.
There you go. That is a nice fish. I want to see the weight. That's all.
What's her name again?
Justin,
Justin. How big do you think this fish is?
17 and a half. And I'm not sure the weight.
Yeah, maybe this one might be a record breaker.
18 inches.
Oh,
Holy,
18
holy
inches, and you go ahead and
camoles.
weigh it with Steve.
That's one heck of a fish.
1 pound 15.
Someone just got 1 pound 15 ounce fish. Named Zach.
That's going to be 2 pounds and a quarter.
Maybe. Holy bagamba!
how much we got?
That's a 3 pound fish.
And
Wow.
3 pounds, 2 ounces.
I
Wow.
want to get a picture, guys.
That's a nice.
Good job, guys.
That's a nice fish.
You got that written down?
Yep.
That is a very nice fish.
You're listening to Bob Duchenne's Wild Maine. Although this part of the show belongs to Andrew Koch. We're at Pickerel Pond, and he's showing me around the Maine Youth Fish and Game Association Family Ice Fishing Day last Saturday. There's another one coming up next Sunday, February 8th. Also next weekend, the Pine Tree Camp Ride-In and the legendary Egg Ride will happen. We'll talk about that later in today's show. Now, there are a lot of chickens working overtime to produce enough eggs for this egg ride.
Oh my gosh, yes. And we should say too that the eggs that we use are not fit for human consumption because we always get that feedback about wasting eggs, but they're actually not eggs that people would eat, which makes it extra nice for the riders.
Yeah. This is Sports Radio 92.9, The Ticket. This is Bob Duchenne's Wild Maine on Sports Radio 92.9, The Ticket. The first half of today's show is taking place on ice. We're on Pickerel Pond, home of the Maine Youth Fish and Game Association. The Stud Mill Road is a logging highway from Milford to Princeton. Just 3 miles out from the county road in Milford, there is an outdoor classroom for kids. In the summer, they learn about hunting, fishing, campfire making, and a host of skills. In winter, kids get treated to really good ice fishing. Andrew Koch is 10 years old, and he's showing me around.
Yes, let's continue this little mission, interviewing every child that we find on the way. Okay?
I don't know, there's a lot of children. Boy, what a good day for this. I mean, it's not cold, it's not windy.
No, not particularly, and my ears haven't fallen off yet, so that's a good thing.
And you've only fallen once so far.
And I've only fallen down once, yes. Here we go. We are nearing our destination.
You managed to cross the pond without falling again so far.
Yeah.
It's slippery. Hi.
Hello, how you doing? My name's Andrew. I take it you're Gage, because it says so on your jacket. So, how you doing? Did you just get here, or have you been here for a little bit?
About a little bit.
I think you just got up another bite.
Another?
Jeez, that was fast.
Don't even get to set the flag.
He's tugging.
Oh, God,
Holy
that is...
moly.
Oh,
He's a big one.
pull.
Yeah,
Pull. Quickly, start pulling up gently, if he's on. That?
Now, he was just lowering the shiner back into the water.
Yeah, he was just...
Didn't even set the trap yet. And immediately, the trout takes the bait. He's still holding the line.
Yeah, and this trout, it was a pretty big one by the looks of it. Maybe about 17, 18, possibly 19 and a half inches.
19 and a half would be the leader if it is.
Yeah. Who knows, maybe you have the leaderboard right now. That'd be fun.
Got to get out of the hole first.
Yeah, you gotta get it out of the hole. That's one thing. What's your last name?
Griffith.
Gage Griffith. Nice to meet you, Gage. My name's Andrew Koch, by the way. This is Bob Duchesne. You know, Bob?
Yep.
I think I like being a radio show person because I just talk a lot at home, so this is a really good career for me.
Do they give you a nickname at home?
No, not really.
No.
Hey, let's head over here. I know this kid.
All right.
Hey, Lucas. Didn't expect to see you out here, Mr. Lucas. Any luck yet?
No.
No?
No luck at all. This is the high
just-
end of the pond. This is where all the good fish are.
Yeah, this is where all the good fish are. Trust me, when that flag goes up, bolt to it, but don't just yank it out quickly. Just pull the trap. If it's... Look down the water. Come here, Lucas. If you see the...
He was comfortable in a
Yeah.
chair.
If you see that reel... If the reel isn't moving, you don't just yank it off to see if you got anything. If it's moving, pull the trap out slowly, then pull the line out slowly. If you feel something tug, you tug just a bit to hook the fish, and then then you pull it up the rest of the way, kind of quickly. Okay.
Now, have you caught a fish before?
No.
Ooh.
First time.
Day.
First time fishing.
Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. Gotten a bunch of fish in my life. You should. Wait, you're 8 or older, right?
Yeah.
You should really go to the Maine Youth Fish and Game Association. It's really fun. It's in the summer.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's go find some more fish.
Yep. And maybe more kids.
Yep.
Where there's kids, there's traps. How about over here?
Yeah, that looks good.
This looks promising. Hello. Pretty good. We're here to interview your son. Hello. What's your name?
Joseph Landry.
Joseph Landry. How many have you caught?
Yeah, about 12 or 13. Mm-hmm.
I think
But they're all fairly small.
Yeah.
12 or 13. That's about the legal size for a fish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have one.
Oh, yeah, let's go take
Okay.
a look.
What's your name?
Lily.
Lily, okay? Oh. Sorry. Whoa.
Whoa.
You know, that's not a bad fish.
No, it's not.
Looks like male. Yeah, that's
Now,
probably
how would you be able to tell that's a male?
because the females don't have much of a red belly and
Mm-hmm.
and they're a bit longer.
Now, how old were you when you learned that? Because I don't even know that.
A few days ago, actually, because my brother caught a female and I caught a male fish.
Uh-huh.
This one, the male fish, the male fish are really good eating too.
And the females aren't?
Well, they're good eating. They're good eating too.
A little salt, a little butter.
Yeah, salt, butter, lemon, wrap
they're
them
all
in
good
tin
eating.
foil, throw them in the oven.
There you go.
Life is good.
Sounds yummy, huh?
But the trick is, once you have it all gutted out and the head's removed, you can just tell how much good meat there is on there because the top of it, it's about that thick.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty big fish. It's a pretty big batch of meat.
Not too bad then, huh?
No. This meat on the spine on this thing, it's going to be really good eating. I can just tell that because it looks pretty thick.
Is that going to be dinner tonight or sometime soon?
I'm gonna see if I can win the prize.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
Well, they got some bigger ones out so
Yeah,
far, so you're
that's
going to
the
beat
case
this one.
Yep, they've
That's-
got some big ones over there.
Oh,
Yeah.
we got
We got one. And down goes Andy again.
Yep. That's fall number 2. Let's see how many I can get.
The flag's tipped up.
Hey,
Give it a jerk.
give it a good.
Oh, pulled it off.
Oh yeah. Let me give you a little tip. When
Another one.
Well, no, that's the one. That's the one that's no bait.
false alarm. False alarm.
Lily, that's the one with no bait. You gotta set that.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, Andy's got a tip for you.
Yeah.
What's that?
Lily, the tip is when you have your fish, just look down. If it's reeling, then pull this trap out slowly. If the little line right there is not reeling, just leave it in and reset. It's probably a wind flag.
There you go.
Yeah, but here you go.
You got to
You
set the
pull
hook
the
and then
trap
come out
out
slow.
slowly. Give the line that's off the reel a decent tug. Not too hard to like you're gonna jerk it out.
Yeah, because if you're going to take a running start, that might not work.
Yeah, here's the thing. Dang, I just forgot. Wait a minute. Oh yeah, I remember now. But once you have a hook, pull it out mid-speed, and once you see the fish, try to get it so that his head or tail is facing upwards, and then when it's doing that, pull. Just give it a decent tug, and the fish comes out of the water about that high maybe, and then flops onto the ground.
So if it's going
him
down,
a
you don't
good-
want to tug because you're tugging back against the fish. Is that it?
Yeah,
Ah.
sort of like that.
Okay.
But here's the thing. But once he's on, you give him a good kick off to the side. Give him a good kick off to the side so he doesn't flop back into the hole. Yeah. Yeah. My brother sort of had that happen to him. Yeah, his fish ran away. And it went over to my trap, and I got his fish.
I'm sure you didn't mind that.
No, not really. I was like, sweet.
Andrew Koch, 10 years old and running the show today. We're going to drop it right there and pick it up again next week. Andrew will keep teaching me how to ice fish, and we'll visit with some more kids. What you've been listening to happened last Saturday during the first family ice fishing day on Pickerel Pond, east of Milford at the Maine Youth Fish and Game Association. The kids return to the ice next weekend. It'll go 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Sunday, February 8th. As you can tell, the kids have a lot of fun, and I'm surprised at how many big trout they're pulling out of there. The association cuts the holes, lends the traps, and provides the bait. You just provide the kids. Up next, the Pine Tree Camp Ride-In. And we'll catch up with an idea I had about 27 years ago that is both the smartest and the dumbest thing I ever dreamed up. This is Bob Duchenne's Wild Maine on Sports Radio 92.9 The Ticket. This is Bob Duchenne's Wild Maine on Sports Radio 92.9 The Ticket. Saturday mornings at 9, Sunday mornings at 8. Next weekend, the Pine Tree Camp Ride-In happens. Snowmobilers from all over the state will rendezvous in Newport to have some fun while raising money for children and adults with disabilities. This will include an event that I started on a different radio station about 27 years ago, the Q-106.5 Pine Tree Camp Egg Ride. Let's discuss. Aaron Rice is the marketing director for the Pine Tree Society. Welcome to the show, Aaron.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Certainly. The 42nd annual Dysart Snowmobile Ride-In to benefit the Pine Tree Camp is coming up. Were you even alive when this started?
No, I wasn't, as a matter of fact. That's a good question. No, I don't think I was. So no, because I am not 42, so it definitely was not alive. I was doing the math for a second, but this event has such a long, amazing history, and it's made such a huge impact to Pine Tree Camp and our campers. We're so thankful to that snowmobile community.
Have you even totaled up how much has been raised over the 42 years? Is that?
Well, I was thinking about that last night because I was thinking you might ask me that. So I was looking back a little bit, and in the beginning, I don't think we kept really good records, but I would estimate that it's about around 4.5 million.
Wow.
Yeah, it's an incredible amount.
Well, 42 years ago, I wonder how many sleds completed the trip without breaking a belt.
I don't know about that. We could probably do some reminiscing the first weekend in February when the event takes place, because there are people who've been, they come every year. We have a lot of people who continue to come, and they were there that first year. So
well, it's a tradition now.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And it's changed a lot, too, over the years, even in the time that I've been involved. So I've been going for 14 years. And, it used to be where people would actually ride in from all over Maine, and people continue to do that, but maybe not so much in sleds. I see a lot of cars there. There's also a lot of sleds, but it's also turned into this great community event. So we get a lot of people from the greater Newport community coming down to take part in the benefit dinners and lunches that we have, and coming out for the RAV-X show that we're doing as well. That's a huge draw for people. And then, of course, the Q-106.5 Egg Ride, which this year is in memory of J.J. West.
Yeah.
So
that's going to be a bittersweet moment. I started that thing about 27 years ago.
Yes.
It was my idea, and I joked that it's the best idea I ever had.
It was a great idea. Yeah.
Sadly, I haven't had another good idea since, but that was a good one.
Yeah, it was a great idea. Yeah, thank you for that, because that event is incredible. The Q is so committed to camp, and they do so much to raise money for camp. They've started now. I know that they're talking about it on the air, even collecting pledges now, and we're weeks out from the event. But I think their goal this year is to raise somewhere around $42,000.
Something like that. I remember
incredible.
When I started it, I was going to be happy to raise $1,000.
Yeah, right. It's just exploded. So it's an incredible event. But that really accounts for so much of our overall fundraising. Over the course of the weekend, our goal is to raise about $100,000. So that's a huge part of that weekend.
My guest is Erin Rice, Marketing Director for the Pine Tree Society. The Pine Tree Camp Ride-In is next weekend, and there's a big schedule of events in Newport connected to it. That's next as Bob Duchense's Wild Maine continues. Sports Radio 92.9 The Ticket. This is Sports Radio 92.9 The Ticket with Bob Duchense's Wild Maine. A long time ago on a radio station just across the hall, I invented the Pine Tree Camp Egg Ride as part of the Pine Tree Camp Ride-In. 42 years later, the Ride-In is still going strong, and 27 years later, the Egg Ride is bigger and better than ever. They're taking pledges right now. It all happens next weekend. Erin Rice is the Marketing Director for the Pine Tree Society. It really is a full schedule next weekend, Erin.
Wow, yeah, there's a lot scheduled. So first of all, the weekend kicks off with our auction, which that takes place Friday evening, and that is a packed house at the Sebastopol Community Center, and just hundreds of things that we're auctioning off. So that's a really fun event, and we get a lot of people coming out for that. And the next morning, there's a breakfast in Levant at the Snowmobile Club out there. Then we have the Egg Ride. They ride from Levant to Newport, so that's going on. We have a chicken barbecue. We have a pageant that takes place at the community center. Spaghetti supper. It's just an event after event. There's also RAV-X will be doing a show in the afternoon at Newport Motorsport.
Hey, describe what that is.
Oh, so that's incredible. That it's snowmobilers who specialize in doing stunts, and they do aerial snowmobiling. I don't know how to quite describe it, but it's pretty incredible and a little bit scary. I hold my breath when I watch, but they just do these amazing stunts in the air. Newport Motorsports has been great to partner with. We're doing it at their site this year, and Parody and Sons helped tremendously build the ramp that was necessary for this event. So they moved some earth for us at Newport Motorsports before the snow fell, so that we have a really good, solid ramp for the riders to ride off of.
And when you say ramp, I mean, that's the whole point. They're going to jump in the air and do some wild acrobatics while airborne.
Yeah.
It's like on a skateboard, but bigger.
Yeah. It's kind of like you have to see it to really understand what it is. Yeah. I think people could get onto their website and check out. They have YouTube videos of what they do. The last time we had them come to the ride, and it drew hundreds of people. People were they have a huge following. So
well, it's like watching a train wreck in progress.
That's right. Oh, hopefully not. Yeah. Hopefully it's a safe event, but we've really worked hard to make the ramp to their specifications, and so we're looking forward to welcoming them.
Mm-hmm. And then right after that, there's a whoopie pie contest as we keep going down your schedule.
That's a highly, what would we say? Everybody wants to be the judge for the whoopie pie, including me.
Well, is it a public judging, or do you actually have official judges who are going to taste test?
They have official judges, actually. And I don't know who those lucky people are going to be, but first place gets $100, second place $50, and third place gets $25.
Well, I'm not doing anything right now.
I know, neither am I, right? I don't know who makes the decisions about that, but that's a fun position to be in. But that happens at the community center at 3:00. We typically get a lot of entries for that. So that's been a fun addition. That's something new that we started a couple of years ago.
And then you get the public supper in the evening. You guys eat a lot during this weekend.
Yes, that is what it's all about, right? So Bud Shop and Save hosts that dinner, and they've been doing it for a number of years. It's a spaghetti supper. It starts at 4:30, goes until 6. So, we eat early and often that weekend. No calorie counting.
And then it's not over yet, because as soon as you're done with dinner, I guess it gets exciting back out on the lake again.
Yeah, we'll have some fireworks out on the lake after that to kind of close up that evening. But then the next morning we also have a Hooked on Fishing ice fishing clinic.
That's cool. Have you done this before, or is this the first year?
We've done it for a couple of years. Okay. And it's a great event. Focused on kids. We even have the kids who participate are going to get some special things to take home. So it's a great way to introduce kids to a new, maybe it's new for them, wintertime activity, because winter is long in Maine. So
yes.
take advantage of it. So get outside. So, we're going to be doing that as well on Sunday.
Yeah, Maine Inland Fisheries and Wildlife actually has a clinic that they take around the state, and so this is a really good opportunity. What are the hours for that?
That's from 9 to 11.
Okay, and where is it? Because that's at the other end of the lake, isn't it?
Yeah, it's on Durham Bridge Road, end of Sebasticook Lake.
Yeah, it's easy enough to find, except if you don't know where you're looking.
That's right. That's true. I would not know where I'm looking. So, if anybody has questions about where that's going to be, they can call.
Yeah, it's a side road. It's a side road off a side road, so you do have to know where you're going before you get there. But it's
right.
I like that end of the lake, so that's fun.
Right.
So that's the whole weekend, but we haven't really talked about what the Pine Tree Society is. So It's been around a very long time.
We have been around for a long time. So Pine Tree Society has been around since 1936, and throughout the time of our existence, we've been focused on transforming the lives of Maine kids and adults with disabilities and impacting their families as well. So that's been our focus since we began. Programs looked a lot different in 1936, but we're still that overall mission. We're still committed to that. Today we live that promise through a number of different programs. they all have a common thread of really helping people with disabilities become more socially active, more connected, have better access to their community, and at the same time be as independent as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So our programs really range from things like Pine Tree Camp, which a lot of people know about, to some things that people might not know about. We actually provide sign language interpreting services throughout the state, and each year it numbers up into about 12,000 hours of sign language interpreting services that we provide.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. It's it's something you might not think about unless you need it. So.
Yeah, we're so focused in the Pine Tree Camp up here because we've been working with it for so long.
Right.
A lot of us don't even realize all the other things the Pine Tree Society does.
Right, and there's so many other things, too. So there's sign language interpreting is a good example of that. We also provide case management services to families, to children and adults with disabilities and their families. That's a hugely important program, because if you're living with a disability or if you're caring for a child with a disability, it can be overwhelming, and you might not know what services are available, and things are changing all the time. And as your child grows, new stressors come up, especially for people who are getting toward a transition in their child's life. Either they're 5 and going to be entering school, or they might be 17 and nearing the end of high school. So what happens after that? And our case managers can help lead families through that process. In addition, we have audiology services and baths. We have speech therapy. Our speech therapists specialize in assistive technology. So if children or adults can't communicate due to a disability, so it could be things like cerebral palsy can affect communication, autism can affect communication, people who have ALS or who've had a stroke can have impacted communication. Our speech therapists work with them to discover new ways to communicate, and lots of times it might be some kind of high-tech equipment.
Well, all this sounds expensive, and it's your job to go find the money.
Yeah.
Good luck with all that.
Yeah, I know. But it really keeps me motivated, especially when I see the impact that we have in people's lives.
Yeah. Well, one story you can tell is all about the Pine Tree Camp itself, which was founded in 1945.
Right. Yeah. Unbelievable. It's been around that long. Pine Tree Camp, each summer we are now serving about 650 children and adults with disabilities. We, over the past 6 years, we've undertaken a huge capital campaign. Our goal has been to raise $6.6 million, and right now we have about $600,000 left to go. But that work has been all about transforming our campus so that we are able to care for our campers who are experiencing. We're seeing a lot of campers who have more medical fragility, so staying in hot cabins is not something that is good for them. They really need something more ventilated and climate controlled. We were also experiencing issues with the accessibility of our buildings for our campers who are now using more larger motorized wheelchairs. And we were also seeing that people with disabilities need more than just a 6-day session in the summertime. So we wanted to build year-round buildings to expand our opportunity to impact lives.
It's impressive to see something that's been around that long grow with the times and meet new challenges. And a lot of times, efforts this old really just sort of stay the same or almost deteriorate a little bit. But the Pine Tree Camp, the Pine Tree Society just keep growing.
Thank you for saying that. That's great feedback, and that's actually part of our founders' mission in 1936. They really wanted to meet unmet needs, change programs to meet needs, not kind of stay okay with the status quo, but always looking at how we could evolve and change and grow to meet more needs. And that's the real thing. That's something that we're really committed to. So appreciate that feedback.
Well, certainly. Erin Rice is Marketing Director for the Pine Tree Society. When Bob Duchense's Wild Maine returns in a moment, we'll get back to the ride-in and back to the Egg Ride. This is Sports Radio 92.9, The Ticket. You're listening to Sports Radio 92.9, The Ticket. This is Bob Duchense's Wild Maine. Erin Rice is my guest. The 42nd annual Pine Tree Camp Ride-in is next weekend. It will include the Pine Tree Camp Egg Ride. Across the hall, they're taking pledges on radio station Q106.5 right now. If you don't know what that is, just hang on. We'll get to it. Back to the ride-in. This was always started out as sort of a club event where various snowmobile clubs would come and participate as groups. And there would be challenges between the clubs as to who could raise the most money. There has been a little bit of a trend over the years for individuals to come out and join the party, too. Where is the split nowadays, clubs versus just individual people coming to party?
Yeah, so we still have a lot of clubs that are involved in the ride-in. And sometimes the clubs can't make it necessarily, but they still want to support the event, so they send a check directly to us, so they're still a part of it. But I'd say we're still very strong. We still get a lot of support from the clubs and a lot of interest from the clubs, but I do think that we've grown just in the individuals coming to the event, just the people in the community wanting to come and, share a meal with us or come see the RavX show. So that has been an evolution that I've seen over the past couple of years of just kind of, in a way, becoming a little bit of a winter carnival kind of atmosphere.
Exactly.
So that's been nice. I mean, we haven't strayed away from why it started or the roots, but it's kind of expanded a little bit. We see a lot of support and getting the word out from the chamber in Newport and other business organizations, as well as groups like the MSA. So it's expanded in that way for sure.
Well, when I first started with it, it really was just a ride-in over to the Big A, the snowmobile club there, and we would have our activities there, but it didn't go much beyond that. There were some radar runs, if I recall, and some sled demos. But now, over the years, it really has transitioned more into Newport and become a community-wide event with. We didn't used to have fireworks. We certainly didn't have RavX. We didn't have the parade when I first started. So it's grown big.
Yes. Yeah. It is chock full of events from Friday night to Sunday morning. So it has grown. And really the credit for that goes to our volunteer committee. This is one event that, Pine Tree Society doesn't really organize this. It's really this group of committed volunteers that makes this happen. And they really drive the events that take place and coordinate. They get the support for it, and of course we support it as well. But it's really their vision, so we can't really take the credit for that. That group of volunteers is so critical to Pine Tree Camp. They make such a difference.
All right. Well, back to the Q106.5 Egg Ride. I should, in full disclosure, admit that I started the station. I was the first jock on the air. I was there for 17 years, and and so that's kind of where the genesis of the whole egg ride started. Is just a fundraising opportunity. I'm now on this station, Sports Radio 92.9 The Ticket, just one studio over from Q106.5. So we're keeping it all in the family. Now, there are a lot of chickens working overtime to produce enough eggs for this egg ride.
Oh, my gosh, yes. And we should say, too, that the eggs that we use are not fit for human consumption, because we always get that feedback about wasting eggs, but they're actually not eggs that people would eat, which makes it extra nice for the riders. It's really does not look fun. But
trust me, as soon as the ride is over, they're not fit for anything either.
Yes, I know. I remember the smell. It's interesting, but we get calls from some people after the event about the eggs, so I always like to let people know about that beforehand.
Yes, this is not a food waste.
No. So, yeah, but we will go through a lot of eggs that day for sure. So for every $50 raised, one egg goes into each rider's suit, which I don't know if they can physically hold that many eggs anymore. We might need to change that math up because that's a lot of eggs.
I remember when it first started, we were carrying maybe a dozen eggs or something like that. And
wow.
I always wondered what the upper limit was. And every year we would keep pushing the limit until we were doing hundreds of eggs.
Yeah.
And the question was not so much, I suppose, how many could you get down your shirt, but could you stand up?
Yes.
With all that weight once we were doing hundreds and hundreds of eggs.
Yeah, it's a massive amount, yeah. So I don't know what the numbers were last year, but, yeah, it was an incredible amount, and doesn't look super comfortable for people.
Oh,
but,
trust me, it's not.
yeah.
I mean, literally, you sit there on the sled and you cannot move. You know, normally you'd want to lean into a turn or steer a little bit with your body, and you cannot do it. You're anchored right to the seat.
Right, but and all I see from the people participating, though, is big smiles. So they love it. So.
And there are rules. I mean, the eggs cannot be protected in any way. There's no plastic. There's no padding.
Right.
It really is a god-awful mess. In fact, what really happens is as they're packing in the eggs, the ones on top are already crushing the ones on the bottom before you even leave the clubhouse.
Yes, yeah, and some of the packers, too, aren't super kind to the riders. I see a lot of hitting and smashing and stuff, so...
And that's gotten worse over the years, too. There's no respect at all.
I know. So, but it makes such a huge difference, though, so hopefully they feel really good about that.
Well, the people who are going to have to suffer this year include two of the announcers from Q-106.5, J.R. Mitchell and Cindy Campbell, who's been doing it since the beginning. And
Yes.
Three of the Maine wardens from Northwoods Law are doing it this year.
Yes, yeah. They are great champions of Pine Tree Camp as well. I think a couple of them have done it in past years as well, but... whenever we have a need for services of a warden, so for instance, with our paddle for Pine Tree Camp, they come out and they ride along and make sure everybody's safe. But they're just such huge supporters of camp, so we really appreciate them taking the time to do this as well.
Well, in all fairness, they used to direct traffic for us, and they probably still do. And they were some of the biggest culprits when we would come through with the eggs in our suits, and there was a little bit of egg throwing. These guys were the worst amongst them. So I don't mind the fact that they're now carrying eggs and suffering themselves.
All right. They'll do anything for camp. It's for the kids, right?
It is. To make a donation, people call the station, or they can actually do it online at that website, which, if I remember right, is Q1065.fm.
Yes, that's right. And they can also call. It's 991-9500. So, and they're taking donations 24/7.
Yeah,
so.
And you don't have to actually do a whole egg yourself. If you haven't got $50 to donate an egg, you can do half of that egg, and the caller after you will do it. So
that's right.
It all adds up.
That's right. Yes, any donation is really appreciated, and it's going to make a huge difference. I should say that this money raised goes directly to our campership fund. So since Pine Tree Camp was established, we've never turned a camper away due to inability to pay tuition. So every year we give 99% of our campers full or partial tuition assistance.
That's astounding.
And it translates into $1 million goal for fundraising every year to keep that promise in place. Mm-hmm. So this money goes directly to that fund to ensure that our campers are able to go to camp. So.
Now, here's one of the best parts about this ride. Everybody gets to ride along if they want to.
Yeah, that's right. Everybody can participate. So
It starts out with a big public breakfast at the Hungry Hollow 76ers Snowmobile Club in Levant, which frankly was always my favorite part because they really do a great breakfast.
They do a great, yes, they do a great breakfast.
So,
all you can eat.
So you can drive over there, or you can bring your sled over there, one way or the other.
That's right.
And you can, have the breakfast. Then at 9 o'clock they start loading on the eggs. And anyone who does bring a sled can just do the ride down to Newport. We go the back way. And anyone who doesn't have a sled can just drive down to watch the carnage of the unloading on the other end.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
So following breakfast, all the sleds will caravan down to the Newport Recreation Center on Sebasticook Lake. And taking the eggs out at the end is always the funniest part.
It is fun. Yeah, we always get a huge amount of spectators for that. So, and I think the participants really enjoy it as well in some strange way.
And best news is it looks like this is going to be a snowy enough winter that we don't have to worry too much.
That's great news, because every year we're on pins and needles a little bit as to whether or not we're going to have snow. But I'll tell you that there's been some years where we haven't had snow, and it has not affected the fundraising at all, which is incredible.
Well, I remember the first year we faced no snow and had to do this, and I came up with the idea of the Egg Olympics, where we started playing games in the parking lot
Yeah.
still loaded with these eggs. That was, you know how the egg ride is the smartest thing I ever thought of?
That was the second.
That was the stupidest thing I ever thought of. We were whacking each other with brooms, and oh, what a stupid idea that was.
Yeah, we're so dependent on the snow for this, so yeah, it does look good, and we won't have to take on Plan B.
Well, it's a Pine Tree Camp Ride-In. It's the 42nd annual. The egg ride's been going on for 27 years. You can participate by donating, and you can also participate just going and riding and having fun with the Pine Tree Camp Ride-In.
Yeah, yes, and thank you so much for thinking up this amazing event and being such a great champion of Pine Tree Camp for so long. Really appreciate your support as well.
That is Aaron Rice, and we've been talking about next weekend's Pine Tree Camp Ride-In in Newport. Also next weekend, the Family Ice Fishing Day returns to the Maine Youth Fishing Game Association on Pickerel Pond out there in the Stud Mill Road. On next weekend's show, Matt Dunlap will tell us what was there before the kids were.
When I was in college, this is where they used to have Chicken Fest, and it was a massive 3-day debauch that would go on every year.
Bob Duchenne's Wild Maine airs twice every weekend, Saturday morning at 9 a.m. and Sunday morning at 8. And it's archived with all the previous shows on the website at 929theticket.com. It's brought to you by Hammond Lumber, Dysarts, EBS, and Napa Auto Parts. This is Sports Radio 929 The Ticket.